What up? I gotta get TikTok going here. Give me 1 second. I gotta start Virtual Studio. Let's go. I'm here, pals. I'm here. I think we're live on both. Let me just go ahead and let the community know that we are. Popping. I closed Discord by accident. What's up, Cuban? I'm like lagging a little bit. It might be that time. Boy, that Apple play played out beautifully, huh? Bear flag after bear flag from the all-time highs. This was the last thing we were kind of taking a look at before we got off on Friday. And then I got sick again over the weekend. YouTube error. Not. Hello, beautiful people. What is up? Restart human. Open studio. I'm not sure what this is asking me to do. Give me 1 second. I'm interested to see if we get a sell to buy here. But connect your encoder to go live. Am I live? Please use a key frequency for 4 seconds or less. Looks like I'm live. Error. Please use a key frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. I think that has to do with my camera. Do I look okay on YouTube? What up? What up? What's up, trending products? Up, Vasco? What's up, Eddie? What up? Taking a look at some things, man. Trump's spooking the markets today. He just likes to talk. And he's over at Davos. Messing with the old... trying not to cuss there. Messing with the entire European Union. Trolling them about tariffs in Greenland. Although I don't think Trump thinks it's a troll. Currently coming into the daily low on Bitcoin here. We are seeing the reaction. We took the daily high. Previous daily high, not today's high. I appreciate that restart. It's hard to manage all this at once. I don't have my main light on. I just got these little focus lights on, so I may be a little dark, a little blue from the aquarium light. Let me see if I can get this guy on. It's not working. I don't think it's making a difference. There we go. Yeah, we can take a look at QQQ. Just give me 1 second. Getting a little settled in here. QQQ. Oh, baby. Look at that short. Was beautiful. All the way to the bottom, guys. You know, we're just going to back cap. This was the top, but we were taking a look at putting in those puts for a short on QQQ, taking the weekly high. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Coming down, breaking that trend line, coming back up for the bearish retest, and then continuing that short for 37% on account. That is beautiful. Locally here, zooming into the hour. Let's just give this whole thing a reset. I don't know how to get these color frames off my chart. I don't know what it is about those that I can't get them gone. Give me 1 second. They should be on the canvas. So grid lines are none. Solid background. Pane separations. Is that this? That's for indicators, right? Anybody knows how to do that? Let me know. So I can get these days off here. So we do have a gap fill to the upside. Let's just go back out to the daily and see where we're at. Maybe we'll zoom in out to the week, see how the weekly close. Weekly closing with bearish divergence still here, right? I am not on my stocks. I'm actually on my crypto chart. Let's move over to the stocks. Yeah, let's grab QQQ. What the hell just happened? I just drug it somewhere? Oh. Let's just give this a refresh. I apologize. I am lagging. What am I lagging? Let's close a couple things. Boom. Let's see if that helps. ETC charts. I fucked everything up. What did I do? Where'd everything go? I'm not sure what happened. Watch list 75. That should be it. Let me get situated here. Stocks, Google. I'm not sure what happened. Bitcoin Core, watch for entry, indices. Everything is gone. Well, that's fun. What the hell did I do? Let's just back this up. Let's see if we can fix this. There's QQQ. Stocks, indices. I apologize. Give me here 1 second. Banks, Rebels, Lunar Crush, other deleted symbols. Well, that's it right there. How do I undelete this? Open lists. Deleted symbols. New watch list name. Make a copy. Nothing is categorized. That's amazing. All right, maybe we'll just start it all over again here. So let's just go ahead back in the watch list. Add ticker. This is ridiculous. QQQ, baby. Do we get a 1? Let's go QQQ. And we'll start with QQQ. All right, let's zoom out to the weekly here. I apologize for all that nonsense. Last week we closed with the SFP in the weekly one more time. We kind of like to see that, right? This week we have taken the bottom of the weekly candle and we are kind of in a doji mode. So here is range top and range bottom, range low, range high. I'll take a look at a couple things here. Let's get through one after another. Yeah, buddy. Yep, QQQ, Brian. We're gonna work on that now. And somebody over on TikTok was asking about that too. I think trending products was. Yep. So that weekly low does line up with a daily low. Daily has a liquidity curve that we have broken to the downside, which was based on our short to begin with. And we have a mild gap fill to the top here, right? So here we have CME. Daily's getting to a point where it's a little oversold, but I like to play hidden bullish divergence, and that is not showing on the charts yet. The weekly is pushing lower. And again, I say this as we're on the wrong damn chart, right? So here's the same setup, just pushed over here, right? This is my stock setup. The bottom indicator on my other screen is a crypto-specific open interest indicator, so we don't need that. We are moving into death cross territory here on the 4-hour, and we are back below the 50 on the daily. And looks like, you know, our first bounce zone is probably going to be some sort of push into this shift of structure here on the 12-hour daily chart. Is that a green candle or a red candle? That's a green candle. So that's going to be a specific daily shift probably on that weekly chart. This is that last gasp we had to the upside. But if this doesn't hold, 580 doesn't hold, I would suspect we're going to test this institutional buy area down here. We're going to look for order block here. Look for OB. Let's go into the daily here. Yeah, this doesn't really look great either. Let's show you that divergence one more time. So again, what is divergence? Divergence is if the price is pushing higher. So let's just take a look here. What is price doing? It's moving up. Anybody doubting this is moving up to the upside? Dad, I appreciate that, brother. It'll be your poppy, huh? Sorry if you don't have a great dad. Come on over in the Discord. They'll be Papa Dunk for you. And then we're taking a look at momentum moving out, right? This is people selling into strength, and that is what you do. You don't buy into strength, you sell into it. So as the market is pushing up here, larger buyers are pushing out, moving volume out of the market. So we've been putting in a bearish divergence here on the weekly for some time now, since June of 2025. And on the daily here just for the last couple days, and then we finally had that gap down, right? So closing below the 50 here on the daily, and we're looking for a bearish cross here on the 100 and the 50 on the daily as well. So a little bit of a jump, but if you take a look at the 4-hour here, we could be due, right? No, I don't necessarily like that, I guess. That's down here. A little oversold on volume. Liberal oversold on the 4-hour. So doing something along this lines and bear flagging out is kind of what I'm looking for, right? As we continue to close below range here, this is not bullish at all. But I don't short the bottom. So if you're looking for a play, this is not the play right here. You should have been in higher, right? If you're looking for that short. So what we're going to do here is on the 4-hour structure is broken. So this daily low, weekly low is now a 4-hour break of structure to the downside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lower time frames. We do have an hour shift to the upside. So the goal now between the QQQ is to break this low or break this high to let us know what direction we are possibly moving. So if we can hold this and put in some sort of curve here, I'll be looking for some kind of local structure shift to the upside. We have not got that yet. You can see that 15-minute push to the upside has broken, hitting resistance up here into that gap. We really haven't done much. Maybe a diamond forming. So here you have the diamond pattern. And it came in from the bottom, so we could get a little bit of reprieve to the top here before we dump. But again, I'm not a bottom shorter. So if this just falls out, I'm missing the play. That's okay. I would have wanted to been short from up here at the liquidity high. There's always another play. But what we're looking here, if we zoom in a little bit, here, look, we had a 5-minute shift already. Now holding this 5-minute low, we could even take the play from the bottom back to the top. And then easy stop loss at the bottom here, right? So is this the curve that's setting up potentially? And then the play looks like this. I'm not telling anybody to take this. I'm not really locked in the QQQ today. But that would be, I mean, if sized properly, 8% account back to the top of the range, that is not a bad option. 4%. Well, I guess we didn't take it from the entry, huh? Yeah, it's not even enough. It's about 2.5%. But I would like to see it push over and break, right? So push over and break. Maybe come up in the VWAP. And then we get a back test. Then we can continue it, right? So once we get this push up, maybe we get some resistance on VWAP. We can pull our fib from the top. Look for a pullback into the GP. And then maybe we look for this gap fill, right? So maybe we're looking for something up here. Is the sell-off today just Trump spooking the markets and we buy it right back? Or do we actually get something in? But if we get back up in here, you know, this could be where we push the high lower. Right? So we're in bull flag formation here. Right? So building this out, you know, QQQ loves to build for lower. This is the exact play that just happened on Apple. So here's what you look like out the bottom. So that's a bear flag, right? So there's your pull, there's your extrapolation, there's your 588 price point, and that is going to line up with approaching into our weekly low here. That would be a good idea for tomorrow to watch what we do on QQQ. And we look heavy, right? It looks really heavy. Five minutes already looks like it wants to come down. Yeah, I'm not, I mean, the other option here is this, right? So if we're looking at local price action and not those higher time frame fractals, this is the bear flag, right? And then this is the pull. And then this is the sell-off, right? And again, it gets you below range and it gets you moving with that larger flag breaking down. I'm not someone to short the bottom though. I'm just to put that out there. This is not a recommended short the bottom play. Fundamentally, that's not how you trade. You buy high to sell low in a short. You buy low to sell high in a long. So we're at the opposite end of the spectrum of where you want to actually take that play. Unless you got some tolerance for some upside motion. I like to play imbalances, right? So the next larger imbalance in the chart here is about 613 to 614. That would be my area of interest for a short if it doesn't continue higher. You know, stop loss at the high. What else we got? What tool is that? This is just TradingView, brother. This is an indicator I actually designed. If you want access to that, you would have to join our group, unfortunately, Brim. It's just a volume indicator. This is MFI plus volume plus stochastic all rolled into one. I'm not short, dude. I told you I'm not short in the bottom. I mean, what pattern do we got forming here, right? What model? Retail calls it a head and shoulder pattern. Model 1. Shoulder head. Fill the imbalance for the second shoulder. Continuation to the downside if we get that continuation break structure. That's how you play it. I'm looking to fill imbalance. I'm looking to fill the fair value gap. If it goes without me, just drops lower here, I'm okay with that. The fuck are my templates? Bro, what did I do to TradingView? My templates here? Yeah, they're not over here. I broke something severe today. So I'm always an imbalanced player, right? So fast up. Whoa, that was weird. Fast up, fast down, and then we got to fill the imbalance before continuation. And then you look for that continuation shift to structure. Right? How does that work? It's always the same. It's always the same. If we lose structure to the downside on a higher time frame chart, if this is the 4-hour breaking structure down, and we leave this big old imbalance in the chart, right? This big imbalance is one large 4-hour candle. Let's just draw what the 15-minute would look like here. I'm just going to change the color here and just pretend this is the 15-minute. So I'm looking for a 15-minute reclaim of the imbalance. We can take the right indicator. So 15-minute up, 15-minute up, 15-minute up, 15-minute up. It fills this fair value gap. that we broke to the downside. Now, filling that gap isn't the key to smack enter. It's the key to watch for the market to tell you to enter, right? Now, if you build some sort of demand chain up here, so demand, it bounces off demand. It just breaks structure, back test, continuation, break structure, back test, continuation, right? It just creates that demand all the way up into fair value. And then it starts to struggle to make a higher high. And it makes this really Barty pattern, a Bart Simpson head, right? Tight liquidity curve. And then bam, it breaks, right? And you get that lower high. And then that demand chain fails, right? And all of a sudden you have a supply chain. So that excess supply in the market is now blocking you from going higher. And that's your entry key. So that's where you would take a short position at the failure of that break, a stop loss at the high, and a continuation all the way through that bottom. And that's exactly how QQQ looks right now. So if you zoom out to the 4-hour chart and you get rid of these indicators, you had that boom, that very big drop here, right? And then you had the hour chart come back in and try to fill this imbalance in the chart. And it's failing, right? Now, it may come back up and get all of it, and you missed the short for the better risk to reward, but it can still come back up and give you another entry, right? Because there's more imbalance in this chart. So every time it comes down fast and just liquidates, like what's at the end of the day here, I'll check IWM here in a second, but the key thing to understand here for stop losses is where are they placed, right? So if you have a pump like this, where's the logical place to set your stop loss? Well, there really isn't. The only sideways accumulation is right here. And that's what we dumped right into. But there's no other places where we accumulated here besides the bottom of the range. So when it starts to come down, it just, people have random stop losses in here. So stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, big stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, big stop loss. So we'll set an alarm here for QQQ coming up into this fair value, see if we can fill this, and if we get a continuation, or if it looks like it's still bullish. I don't know anything about Litecoin. IWM, I'll check Bitcoin here in a second. We started out with Bitcoin, but we'll get back to it. So we're doing the Russell here. So let's take a look at the daily. Russell had a nice breakout the other day. We are in all-time high territory, so I don't tend to fuck with trying to short trend. But we took daily high, and we were threatening closing below it, and we didn't take previous day high, right? So previous day low is down here. And let's come in here on the, well, let's look at the daily rolling over a little bit. Even this doesn't look like it's too bad. Anybody know what's driving the Russell right now? Is it one or two companies? But here's like another good example of filling imbalance. Right up to fill the imbalance and rejected. So it keeps bouncing off the 1 hour 50 here. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 10 to the downside. We have a break of structure that gap filled back up on the hour. And then we have hour low right here. So I'm kind of between previous daily high and the hour low. It trades so thin. Again, I see institutional patterns to the downside here. I would watch first the tap VWAP again up here at about 265. Potentially for a continue lower, but if it can get back up over 265, we may see some upside momentum. But this is what I see. Fake out to the upside, continuation down, fake out to the upside, continuation down. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow or the next day we see about 255 back tests on some of these higher time frames. And that would bring us right back down into the 50 on the daily to back test some previous high time breaks of structure. So again, alarm over 265. Maybe we just continue up. Locally looks like we're heading down on the Russell. I'm looking for exhaustion on volume to the downside here, right? So I'm always looking. Here's the oversold area on volume as we pushed up. Here's the oversold area to the downside as we pushed down. Again, oversold area to the upside as we pushed up. And then we had exhaustion to the downside as we pushed down. So I'm looking for some exhaustion to the downside here on the Russell 2000. It may flounder just sideways here and then dump. But unless we can close the daily back over 265, I remain bearish and in correction territory for the Russell. I keep it simple, man. I play leverage plays off weekly and daily levels. That's it. I'm not trying to kill it with anything else. Let me just take a look at the chats here real quick. What's up? Oh, that's outskilled you. Ah, what's up, brother? Welcome back to Discord, man. I appreciate you being here. I miss coding with you, man. I really do. I miss our what's the best way to put that? Our vibe coding days. Hey guys, if you're hanging out and you've not been in Discord, the link is at tacticaledgetraders.com. Should be in the description there on TikTok for you as a clickable link. Also free classes here for you. This messed up. This narrow shorts video format gets this all kind of goofy, but you can join here for our if you want to know how we trade, man. The classes are there. They're absolutely free. Just head on over to the website. It's free to register. If you want to join the Discord, we have a free section as well, but we do live trading every single day. So if you want to do our daily analysis on the on the daily open, we meet an hour before New York Open, 8:30 a.m. EST, or you can go ahead and convert that to your local time. But from there, guys, it's we trade live every single day, plus live classes 3 times a week, plus a wealth of knowledge in the learning library, plus access to 2 full daytime traders and another one on the way. Eddie is our 3rd member of the core group now. Oh, he's been for a while. He's an amazing trader. You guys see him live on here as well in the evenings. Yeah, we can take a look at silver. I wish I didn't lose all my damn charts. We're gonna have to fix that. What is it? XAU. What's the futures? XAU 1 exclamation 1. What's the futures ticker on silver? I don't see CME. Oh, I'm sorry, that's gold. Did you ask for gold or silver? XAG. Here we go. Man, I'm having a hell of a day here. I did it on the wrong one. Wrong monitor. Silver dumping. It's been on a tear, man, but every time it has a little bit of a correction, it just turns around and rips. So again, same as the Russell, I'm not counting out this just continuing to rip. I don't know exactly what's driving the Russell, but we have daily market structure for the first time here on silver in a long time. We'll go through it here. All right, so where was our original breakout? Right here, 34 bucks. I'm just gonna keep doing these breakouts, breakout. So here's our last daily shift. The structure was $54. And you can see this institutional candle here just pushing it. And after that, it's one down, one up, one down, many up, one down, one up, one down, many up, one down, one up, one down, one up, two down. So here's daily market structure here. And yesterday, we had another daily low here. So we have some daily market structure now we can play. So am I macro short silver from the top here? Absolutely not. There's nothing here that tells me this is just going to turn around and dump until we shift structure. But we have two levels that are very interesting now. So this $86 is currently the daily structure low. And if we lose that, we could visit as low as about $73.5, $74 there, this next daily low. I don't see any CMEs there on a daily time frame. We are making bearish divergence. Again, we could just step on this. Silver's been very good at stepping on this. Gold's been very good at just stepping on it, right? So price is pushing up and volume is moving out. There's no denying that right now. It's doing it, right? So if we come into the 8 hour, do we get any better shifts of structure to follow? Just a little bit of a front run here. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours in danger of shifting structure right now. So here is the low on the 4 hour that put in the high. So this 4 hour correction put in this 4 hour high. And if we close below this, we will be looking for a back test for continuation low on silver. And there is a 4 hour CME here. I can't hit the right hotkey. There we go. My reach is off on the keyboard. I know that says it's fair value gap, but it's a CME gap, right? So 4 hour has been making bearish divergences as well. So again, price pushing up, volume pushing down. So this 4 hour candle close here in 36 minutes is going to be very, very important. And there are two things we could look here for a back test. We can identify some sort of imbalance here. We'll look for it in a second. And then there's an order block up here we want to find. Let's go into the hour chart. Hour looks weak. We are losing the 50, but a last minute Hail Mary back test could be what we're looking for. So there is really no... There's really no fair value here anywhere. Potentially right here. And 50-minute looks as dumb. Boy, oh boy, it is getting tight here. So supply chain is really crunched. If there's one thing we're good at, it's coming up to fill these, but I would look for something higher, kind of like a Bitcoin fill. I'm looking right here in this order block. So this 5-minute order block into this VWAP test after taking this liquidity high. If we can close above VWAP at $94.15, I think we just keep coming to the top of the range. I don't even like this order block up here. Let's get rid of that. I like this guy right here. Everything else looks kind of filled. So as far as shifts, let's zoom out here 1 second. There is just a series of lower highs here in the 15. So high, lower high, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, lower high. Yep. So still the high I beat even on 15-minute structures, 93.96. Again, I'm not shorting the bottom. The play would have been from the top of the range somewhere, but this could just as easily dump out of this bottom into sort of a bear flag here. Here's your pull, and we're right down to fill that fair value gap, right? The more better risk to reward play, if you're patient, is to come up and tap this order block. We get a break over this structure. We get a 5-minute shift up here, and we just come back into this zone. That's where all this liquidity is sitting. And then we get the shift. All right. So you can see this wicks here, right? This is a CDW. Chicken's drinking water here. This is just absorption to the downside. So potentially we come up and just let these guys out one more time. We watch for that structure shift, and then we take the play. So this could be a good one for Asia Open. Now, I'm not trading post lunch. I'm done trading till Asia or next New York session. I'm not looking to enter anything right now. So I'm kind of looking like this. And then we find this. So we look for if we're actually trapping people on silver here. This believes me we could come even higher. Ooh, maybe we play this next one. Depends on where it shifts, right? It's an idea. Let the market tell you when to enter. And then we're taking a short off trend. I've not had a great luck right now macro shorting silver, but it is starting to come sideways here. The odds of just doing one more of these things after we CME fill, bang, and just running it, its probability is pretty high, to be honest with you. So be careful with shorting this, right? I'd be more bullishly looking for the continuation play. So again, we come down into this gap. You know, you got a pretty good idea that if we come in here and fill, get immediate reaction, and we break structure back up with a nice sell to buy, right? You're looking for this entry here. And then potentially back to all-time highs. What's up, Suman? Suman Bola. Lambert, what's up, brother? When you coming back, man? I've seen you poke your head in a couple times. Oh, I'm getting a message here on TikTok. Let me look here. You know, my eyes are watering. Maybe live out here in the Northeast, getting this big snowstorm, ice storm coming. My wife's out there panic shopping right now for groceries. I shouldn't say panic shopping, but she's like, this stuff needs done. There's 2 feet of snow coming. Yeah, I can do spot here. One sec for you, brother. Oh, I don't know how I deleted all this stuff, man. I'm gonna have a hell of a time getting these back together. Anybody know if there's a way to restore TradingView? Man, we had that Trump sell-off today, man. This looks exactly like silver and, or not silver, like QQQ. Same structure. That's minis. Let's zoom out here quick. All right, so daily structure is broken finally. Boom. So a week low has been taken, and we actually took the strong one as well. So double structure break here. Ouch. Let's see if we had divergence telling us this was coming. Not really. Zoom out to the 2-day, 3-day. Ooh, look at the 3-day chart. How many of you guys actually use these 2-day, 3-day, 5-day charts? I mean, if you take a look at the weekly, right? What's going on? We've talked about it 3-4 times now. Pushing up, right? Up, 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 up. Indicator is topped here. This is telling us, well, as we fight these divs, divergence on the weekly is starting to set in as volume is coming out. Look at the 3-day chart. Just rolling out. You have a 3-day breaking structure. That's strong. 5-day breaking structure is brewing. Let's see if we could have caught this today, right? So daily candle. I don't know if we got to go back in time to actually label this right. Give me 1 second. The previous day high. I don't know if that labeled it right. Did that shift back on us? It did. So yesterday you had AM session. So this is like this is bread and butter at how we trade, right? So there's two things we seek: is previous day highs, session highs. You know what they call these kill zones for a reason. This is where, hello brother, Helen Trades, what's up? This is where liquidity rests. So if we had a previous day high here on the New York AM session and a previous day high here, what happens if we make no structure and just run it straight up? What does that tell you it's doing? It's squeezing. It's squeezing out short positions. And once it hits that previous day high and traps those traders in those wicks up there, that's probably the short. I'm learning quite literally that the 2-minute structure on the ES and the NQ are a lot easier to trade than the 5 like we do on crypto. I was a crypto trader first, but here's that 2-minute break of structure. You wait for it to fill in balance, and then you short. If you didn't already take the high. And if you took the high and then returned the range, it's about the same play. And you give it all back. And if you would have set a simple 5-minute structure shift for the stop loss, you would have been stopped out about right here. Man, that'd been 10% on account. I gotta add this to my... Ben's been doing this guy, but I think I gotta add it to my monitors for active trades. That's a pretty easy play. Let's see what the 4 hour's doing. I think we're going lower, brothers. Although volume's coiling up. We had a death cross on the 4 hour. So here's the death cross on the 4 hour. We got to get it back above previous daily high. 69.34 to have any chance of continuing past all-time highs. I'm just looking for patterns here. Give me a second. Looking for accumulation models here. The only one I really see is locally. Come on. All right, so here's my worry. I mean, we're sitting on, you can see this in the 30, you can see this in the hour or 15. I'm just sitting on a 24-minute chart. Manipulation. Manipulation. And then if we cannot get back above this range, dude, it's just going to be like this. It's going to fake everybody out. It's going to grab some kind of weak supply zone here for a buy curve, and it's going to fail. So let's look for targets lower. I think it potentially is lower. Again, I'm not shorting the bottom. I mean, 67.73 is the first daily low. Also a weekly low. So this is going to be a pretty strong area. See what the supply chain looks like to the downside here. Yeah, if we can't break the previous daily high, 6,900 bucks, it's lower, man. I think, again, this is another one of those weak diamond patterns. Even if we can't close above 68.68 here, it's going to be in trouble. Right? So if we're looking at like previous auctions, there's no real it's just been straight down, right? There's been no real accumulation range. There's a small accumulation range here for a number of hours. Super small one here. Another small one here. But previous range low, right? So if we can't get back into this value area high and accept it back in the previous auction above this previous daily high, it's just lower. And the bottom of the auction here is about 67.71. So tomorrow, New York Open, we might be looking for manipulation lower. But currently the 1 hour low is still daily low. It just looks weak. 4 hour looks weak. Trump's tweets look weak. I mean, do we have? I mean, we have like I'm not making plays off the 5 minute here at 1:37 in the afternoon Eastern. This volume's gonna be super light, but we haven't given it all back, right? We haven't given a little bit of space here that we're trying to turn into a flip of resistance into support. We are below VWAP. That dotted line is VWAP. Yeah, 5 minute structure shift here would bring you back into something clawed back out of this fair value. A little hopeful if we come back up in here though. But this is going to be it. Massive resistance, right? So this is where buyers took control today. And if we can get back above VWAP into this area, again, I would be looking for the bear flag breakdown. And it's going to look like we drew it out here, but just a little different. So here would be the new supply chain curve. And we just look for this to fail. It just starts to come sideways once it gets in this gap and then breaks. So trading is about developing a plan and then let the market confirm your plan, right? And I've said it every asset we look like. It's tough when you stream this, in the afternoon. Everybody wants to know your entry, right? What's your entry? Like at this time in the evening, I can't tell you my entry because I have to let it come to me. Again, I'm not just smashing short because we're low. I'm waiting for something to tell me that we're going to go that way. Right, so we have areas to come up to visit, and if we can get the structure shift from this resistance area, that'd be a nice area to continually short down. And we have some targets to the low side here at 6,700 and 72 bucks. So potentially that would be the area I'm looking for on the S&P. Let's flip back over in the Bitcoin here real quick. Let me add a Bitcoin chart. This is ridiculous. BTC. And we need crypto, and then we need Binance. And then let's just start adding Binance charts here. So, this doesn't look like NQ here, but crypto moves harder, and that's why I love trading crypto. So crypto is now wicking previous day low. It wicked previous day high, just like the NQ did, just like the ES did, just like QQQ did. And we're fighting for our way back into this range. But the thing here on Bitcoin is we came in and took a low, right? Ooh, did we front run that? Oh. I gotta check the perps chart. I don't like that at all. Whew. Yeah, it's front run. That's not amazing. I don't like a front run. I like to take the liquidity. We did not take the liquidity, so the odds of coming back down for this are actually there, unfortunately. Let's see what kind of imbalance it wants to fill. Oof, we have an ugly order block right here. So if we just wick this and turn around, it's probably what's going to happen. I'm having a hard time doing... Where is my alarm? What did I do to TradingView? Add alert on Arrow. It works fine on my other one. Interesting. Just an alert there. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Yeah, something's wrong. Or is that an ugly weekly chart or what? Bitcoin Wicks weekly low. Nope. Front ran it. Two plays I'm looking for in Bitcoin, guys. I'm looking for a wick into 80,500 and a continuation, or a wick on the weekly here at 74. Right, I'm gonna walk you through it every time I say it. You know, I just want people. These are 90% hits. I don't think it's gonna hold. I'll do AMD in just a couple minutes here. Are you in an apartment, man? So what happens when we correct? Right? We get some sort of intent. This is a weekly chart on Bitcoin. We get some sort of intent to the upside. We took the weekly high. And now we're reversing. Right? What happens every time we do that? We had intent. We came back up and wicked the weekly high. SFP'd the weekly high. SFP'd the weekly high. Big move. Right? Do we get a bigger move? All the way down to about 75, 74K. 74,872. Right? That is the level that has got to hold, or this whole pattern gets real nasty. But every Bitcoin move has an SFP on the weekly before it gets a nice move to the upside. Right? So here's nice intent. Boom, boom, boom. 2 candle intent. Comes back down. SFP's the weekly and then takes off and takes the weekly high. Plus some. Right? It corrects. It comes back down and takes the weekly for another SFP. Pushes back above the weekly high for continuation over. Right? It corrects. It comes back up at SFP's the weekly high for a bigger move to the downside. It corrects. It comes back up and wicks the weekly high. Is it coming down for a bigger move to the downside? Now the play here for me is twofold. Does it come down in SFP this low, like it did this low, for a push back up into all-time highs? Right? Now, if you're watching Year of the Shemitah or Bitcoin Cycle Theory, those guys are calling for much lower. Right? And I'll believe it when we get to the confirmations in the charts. Nothing more, nothing less. But, you know, if you're following cycle theory, the low could be not in till about October 5th. Again, my charts are being wonky. Alt H should put a horizontal line in there. There it goes. And I just messed up my chart completely. How did I do that? There we go. So we may not get a bottom this year until about October, right? Does it take all the way till October to get down to 75K? Or do we start visiting lows on Bitcoin that are much lower, right? 50K is a target. You know, if you're zoomed out here on the weekly and you're watching, you're a fractal trader, you've got two very big fractals you're looking at, right? You're hoping that Bitcoin has a lot of sideways accumulation here into the year, and it's just like a shitty trading environment. And then we come down and get this 74 to 72K, and then we bounce into the end of the third quarter. Or are you following a tighter fractal here on Bitcoin? Let's get rid of some of these brush strokes so we can see things. Let's turn off. So is this demand chain the one here that's broken? That's going to fill, right? And the bottom of this fractal is twofold. It's a test here of, if I can actually hotkey my fib correctly. It's a test here of the golden pocket at about 76K at that weekly low. And then we get another dead cat bounce, and then we pull it lower into 50K and complete this fractal, right? This is going to be the test. If we get down in this weekly low and we just boomed straight through it, just remember that's the GP there. If we come in and we close a weekly candle below this and it's nasty, like this is your candle and it's like wicked real high here and it's just people hammering in shorts, it's probably going to correct once to the upside, reject on previous range here, and then continue much lower. Right. I don't think it's a good time to be an altcoin trader here. I am of the theory that we were coming higher to putting in another shoulder here on this weekly chart. And we didn't quite get it. Right. So again, model 1 would be head and shoulders up here. And then a continuation down to 50K. And the demand we are trying to mitigate here was a little higher than we came, which was up here towards this shoulder. So this imbalance that you can see on the weekly here just slightly was the top of that shoulder that we wanted to put in. All right. And we were looking for something like this to bear trap, not bear trap, bull trap. Everybody's saying, hey, look, man, we're going all-time highs. And market makers be like, nope. And then they just yoink it straight down. One of these, another one of these legs. Just straight fucking down. All right, I had a couple things in here to check. Let me just go back through them. AMD was one of them. If you're still here, brother, we'll take a peek. We are not looking on Binance. We are not looking on crypto. We are looking on NASDAQ. Ooh, looking good. Let's go ahead and add symbol. I don't know how I deleted all these. AMD weekly chart looking strong. Let's see if we're putting in any divergences. Actually, let's go over to our stock charts. Into the weekly. Price action looks strong. It's getting a bounce. It is not oversold. Daily looking strong as well. Let's see if we had an entry here in the daily. So we have 3-tap trend, baby. Doesn't get any easier than that. So daily doesn't show any signs of divergence yet, although, again, it's already up. I'm not screaming to enter long here for this to go higher and you just enjoy the ride. It's not what I'm saying. You know, the entries are going to be, you know, you're buying low to sell high. So anyone, this tap probably would have been the ideal one. Because it put in the bullish divergence. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Let's see the last structure shift in the 4 hours here. And 1, 2 internal small gap fill. All right, yeah. We have a larger one down here. I think we invalidated the bear flag here, which is nice. Hours kind of smoked. We haven't taken any eternal high. I'd be looking for a wick of the previous daily all-time highs here before I'm entertaining any kind of short, right? We have a considerable wick being put in right now, so you can play this wick tomorrow during New York if we SFP this again. So again, let's just pretend the intraday here is just making some sort of correction, which it is. Again, I don't see much of a pattern here. I just see straight up, and then we're trying to accumulate here a little bit as we feel a little bit of some imbalance, but straight up. All right. So a bit of a liquidity curve forming. Is this a bull flag though, right? So we're looking for this fair value gap to hold us to the upside, and then we get some sort of whack up and over, and that would take us right back to all-time highs. So this is a pretty easy invalidation below the low. $15 getting a nice bounce. Again, we're towards the end of the day here. It is low volume time, so does AMD... Anybody know the catalyst here? What's going on with AMD that it's still pumping? Are we talking RAM? Are we talking AI? Are we talking some sort of deal on data centers? I trade every fucking day, brother. Every day, New York Live. You can come trade with me in Discord Live every single day. Is that TJR guy, that fucking influencer? I doubt that guy even actually trades. He's just filling you with affiliate links, man. That's it. And props to that model, but don't pretend to be what you're not. He's probably making a killing. AMD here again. Previous day high is going to be a level to watch in tomorrow. So if we don't get up there today, and we get up there tomorrow, but we don't show that signs of pulling back, we're just looking for the continuation of the supply chain, right? So potentially we come up, we break that all-time, yesterday's daily high, we come back down, get some kind of bounce into this trend again, continue up into all-time highs, and then I'm looking for the SFP at the top, right? And then I'm looking for the shift down. I don't know the catalyst on AMD. I can't watch them all, unfortunately, but if we get some sort of close, an immediate trap of trades up here, and shift, I would entertain a short back from all-time high. Kind of in a no trade zone at the moment on AMD. We did QQQ. Analysis was pretty solid. We are currently watching on QQQ for this imbalance to be filled and our head and shoulders model to potentially bring us further down. So watching lower. Two targets, 600 and 588 on QQQ. And again, this is not me telling you to short right this second, okay? I'm waiting for these things to be filled. If it gets above wick high here at about New York open high of $616, a solid hour close, 4 hour close above that range, we can invalidate this pattern. And the idea was wrong. We just don't take the trade. It's that easy. Is RKLB Roblox? My kids love some fucking Roblox. RKLB. Rocket Lab, not Roblox. Rocket Lab Corporations. I don't know what this is, but I might need a little bit of news here just to figure out what kind of play this is. Goldman Sachs labels them as neutral. Electron launches. What kind of company is this? Morgan Stanley upgrades them. So I'm just looking at the news ticker here. I know you can't read it. Why 2026 could be a... Oh, there's a 5x leverage ETF for this. So they have 1, 2, potentially a third drive here. So let's go ahead and just mark out daily high. Daily structure low is not until $66, but you're not looking to give all of that back. Weekly's looking a little toppy here. We have volume divergence. Again, it doesn't mean we come straight down, but we're looking for plays potentially for a correction here, right? So price is moving to the upside. The volume is clearly moving out. Oh, I'm blocking that. Oh, you see the divergence. Maybe I just move it up one to make it easier. There you go. Although the stochastic MFI flow here does not look like that. Uh, 4-hour structure is where we're sitting. 4-hour structure is broken. So we have potential for a value gap. And we actually have inverted fair value gap here. So 2 areas of interest for back tests. Internal curve is broken. And you can see we are just coming down here on the 4-hour. This has got some nicer structure than some of the other coins, or some of the other stocks. 1-hour smoke. So I'd be looking for a back test and continuation here. So neckline on this Model 1 is going to be right about, yeah. If I can hit my right hotkeys. There we go. So as of right now, this blow off top is simply a deviation of a range that has been put in. And we may look at a fill here back into the 50. Back up into here, right? And wherever we set up this new curve would be probably where I'm looking to short this. So we come back up and fill, and then we get a fresh break of structure. Remember, the target's going to be the bottom. This is going to be weak. So potentially we are going to make a correction back into these single prints. I don't know how much this is actually already down. Trump's news today, damn, 17%. You know, pushing tariffs, pushing the Greenland stuff at Davos was not ideal for the stock market. We are certainly oversold. We are certainly in 4-hour support. But we are not in daily support yet. Daily support is not until 66 bucks. So there could be a significant sell-off here brewing for this. Even if we look at like some simple fib pulls here. You know, our current target here about $67 lines up with a retracement to the 0.50. Here's 50. Golden pocket is the back test. And a gap fill. These things are trading like altcoins. It's crazy. Keep hitting the wrong hotkey. There we go. We get back into this CME. Yeah, there's just no daily structure yet for me to worry about just a straight dump, but if it just straight dumps, I'm not in it, so that's okay. I'm not shorting the low. But I'm looking for something like this, right? It might not even go that high. Looking to claw back in balance. I'm looking for a fresh shift, and I'm looking for continuation. Again, what does that shift look like, gentlemen? Right? Even this morning, we had yesterday's New York high 2 days ago. We didn't even shift 5-minute structure. 5-minute structure low. Right? No play here locally. Right? You could have played potentially the SFP of previous day high. But what does structure look like? I use 2 candle intent. So 2 candles to the upside here off of a higher time frame low is intent. And you can pull back 3 candles as long as you don't, 5 candles, 10 candles, as long as you don't break that low and you break the high, right? So the demand chain. So where's the low that put in the high? It got SFP'd and right back to the high, right? No shift below this at all on RKLB, right? And then we finally put a fresh shift in. This is all internal range here. SFP internal range, external range, external range, external range, internal range. And then finally, a new 5-minute low created a new 5-minute break structure. So we had 3 candle intent to the downside, bounced off VWAP, broke structure to the upside. New 5-minute high. 5-minute higher high. Could not get over. 5-minute structure shift. This is how the PM session would have played. And then continuation. Back to range low. Yoink. And we're bouncing from a pretty logical area. Actually, we didn't even bounce there. Holy shit. Could this have went further? I probably would have been out right here, but maybe after the gap fill. That's creating a pretty nice play. Oh my god, 17 to 1? Even with a 0.4 stop loss, that is disgusting. Oof, 34% on account is disgusting. I mean, we're getting a natural bounce point here, right? The danger here is we just bear flag. So we had this curve to the downside. We could not break back above it, right? So if we stay trapped below price action here, we just bear flag again. So do we get another flag up? We lose it. And then we have a measure move that looks like this. And then we're already back down in like the $76 territory. And we're back in that gap. That's rough. New York AM session took New York PM liquidity. Yeah, these stocks are more predictable than crypto sometimes. That's crazy. Is there a 15-minute div here on this? At least tell us it was. Just hammered. Yeah, man, I'm looking for lower. Maybe not from right this point, but it's definitely broken. Significant levels have been taken on RKLB. I was profitable the last 3 years. I worked a full-time job. I worked my own business here for the last 15, but last year I put in more trading than I did with my full-time job and made the switch. I can teach you 2 candle 10 over in Discord here. Again, that's more of a premium thing, but you know, a lot of people always just like the 3 candle thing, man. Like, I'm not a 3 candle trader. I mean, if you follow all those ICT and whatever the fuck else they're talking about over there, they just make things so complicated. I mean, the first job as a full-time trader is to become a risk manager, man. It's all about risk. I mean, Bitcoin came right into that high we were talking about and is rejecting. Right into the OP here. It's pretty crazy. So now we have a curve here we can follow. And hopefully we hold. Hope here is mile 2. Up and handy. Again, I'm not playing this. I had a losing trade today. I lost $1,000. Oof. I mean, again, this is just a snip of the account. I did not win a trade today. I lost 1% on account. Well, I lost 1% risk. The account's a little bigger than 1%, but Trump just fouled up New York with all his talking today. It was crazy. I would ask my journal potentially. If you don't have a trading journal, our journal is fantastic. It's available over on the website. It helps you train your edge, man. There's a new version coming that will be paid, but the current version is free. But If Trump is talking during New York, I should just not trade. Because structure and everything doesn't really matter when he says dumb shit. Yep, let me look at coin for it. So Coinbase was anti this new crypto, what was the bill called? Market structure bill or something like that? I don't remember what they called the bill. Crypto structure bill, add symbol. Let's just what? They called it something. Brian Armstrong of Coinbase is no longer on it, and this looks like an ugly ass model. Ooh, buddy. Complex head and shoulder. So swept liquidity, fell back into range. I think we're coming down on coin. It's going to be the year of corrections this year, man. You can't have those blow off tops. Even Trump cursed the market, where good news still drives the market down today, and that's why we came down. Because he was mad. So we are currently at a daily weekly low, I would suggest. Yep. Current weekly low on coin. Divergence drive is intact. Curve is intact. Bear flag is breaking. Hockey. There we go. So I'm looking something like this. There's your bull flag. Bear flag, not bull flag. So if this parallel channel fails, we've got two measured moves here. We got one from the channel. And then we got one from the pole. Both these are pointing lower. 80 bucks on coin. Which is going to be... Man, that's going a lot back. I hope it doesn't come down that hard. This could be a year to start averaging into some things. Do we have a gap fill here anywhere? We do. So we're kind of in that CME, but we did not fill it. I'd have an alarm here at about $213.70 to see if we can't get that gap fill. And if we get that gap fill and we get a bounce, we could be putting in a divergence on the daily that could save our asses here. But this looks like it's breaking down. All right, so here's your parallel channel. But what does the indicator say, right? Volume's not quite, you know, it's not breaking the low, right? So price is. So price comes down here, breaks the low, and then bounces. Either it's a dead cat bounce or we get the actual reprieve. So that would actually put in a lower low on price and a higher high on the oscillator. And that would create a hidden bullish divergence, which could save coin's ass here. But I think if we come down here and just lose this 216 area, it's going to be a while before this gets any kind of break. As far as daily market structure, we need to close back above weekly high here at 263 and 12 cents. And we are currently either SFPing the low or breaking the low in the weekly low right now. So not a great look. I mean, what did it do? Like, where was the entry here for this, right? So if you were trading previous day high, SFP a previous day high, short comes into the market here. Stop loss isn't even hateful. And you target daily low, weekly low for a bounce. Still a 12% move, 7.5% on account. You could do the same here at the opposite direction if it holds, right? Things do look a little weak, but you buy strength and you buy blood. to the contrarian position, right? So I would see if this daily closes back in this range above the 225.59 area, or it closes below range. If it closes below range, it's probably just going to keep coming. That'd be a break structure in the weekly. Do you get some sort of dead cat bounce back to the upside here just to fill the CME? Which could be the potential move here, right? And the risk reward there's not even there for me. It's about 2.25 on account. It's got to be at least 3. But this slow drawdown, right? So what is it looking like? It's just lower highs on the daily. So high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Did we just put a lower high in on Monday? And we just break lower, you know, these lows down here. If I'm looking at the larger pattern, it's still screaming lower. There's a lot of liquidity to be taken down here from this 250, 246 area. I might be a buyer down here looking for SFP, the next weekly low. And we do have an order block here on the weekly as well. Oh, this is 3-day, I apologize. But it's probably a weekly one. Let's see. It is not a weekly. Is it a daily? It is a daily as well. Again, this is kind of like a no trade zone though. This was previous market structure. Again, probably dead cat bounce type of territory. The daily low, not a weekly. I mean, these are just like the stairs, right? We bounce, and then it just capitulates through. We'll see how that one works out. We've nailed a lot of these. And this is kind of correlated to crypto, right? Bitcoin's coming down. It's been coming down since October. What has coin been doing? Well, October 9th, it made in the lower high for the first time, and it's just been coming down ever since. So I would, if Bitcoin gets a nice reprieve here, I would look for coin to get a nice reprieve. They're correlated. I would be looking for shorts, but I'm not telling you to enter short right this second. Right, I'm always looking for those, you know, those entries to come in the high volume times, the kill zones, New York, London, Asia, in those sessions. So the session came up, New York created a new high, and we're fighting below VWAP. But what did it fill? It filled in balance, right? Yesterday's AM session. Imbalance filled. Do we get a tomorrow AM session, and do we get a new imbalance filled tomorrow and then just move lower, right? So somewhere up in here. Don't hop into anything right now. It is not the right time to make a trade. So I'm watching potentially for sideways action, pop into New York, fill the imbalance, and then continue lower. I mean, if we close above this curve here, plays invalidated. Clarity Act, that's what it was. We want to see Microsoft. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this tech is continuing to sell off. Yep. They all look about the same, guys. Oh my god. So here, look, this is kind of exactly where coin is right now, right? If I'm looking at coin, it looks weak at a daily low right now, right? This is kind of like price action for coin is sitting right here. And that's what I'm worried about. Does it get some sort of little dead cat bounce on the intraday and then bang, starts filling those gaps to the downside, right? So this is the exact play I want coin to do. We're looking at Microsoft. And what's that? The flag is pretty textbook here as well, right? So could not break liquidity high. It just comes back up. Resistance. 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 Curve broken. Dead cat reach and continuation to the downside. And this pull is pretty ugly. Actually use array for this. If I can grab it. Shift H. There we go. I mean, here we go. Is Microsoft just getting started? We are in single print territory on Microsoft. Again, and this is a daily chart and it looks very scary. But if you are a trader and this is that wall of worry that you're, break a structure, gap up, and then just a wall of worry building here, right? There's no real market structure in there at all. And that's a 20-30% pump to the upside with this big deviation, 28% from that break of structure. But what is happening here is the bigger question. Where do people, based on market structure, put stop losses in here? It's hard to bet because you have one structure low here on the daily, one structure low here on the daily, and then after that, it's just people probably putting them in random places. And that's why we get these long squeezes to get people out. Like once it gave up this and got stuck below range, it just starts squeezing all these guys because their stop losses are in random ass places here because there's no market structure at all to rely on to set a healthy stop loss. And this is where retail gets burned every single time. They just don't take profits and they watch it draw down, assuming it's going to come back up. But sometimes, I mean, I think Microsoft's a solid company, but sometimes they just don't come back up. So I'm looking, this measured move on this here is all the way down to about 384 to fill this CME gap. I'm setting an alarm right here about 400. And that's when I will revisit Microsoft. But if we can find an entry here on some sort of intraday play tomorrow during New York, what's the play? Right? So here's an hour CME to the upside, so fair value to be filled. I mean, we're a little oversold, but we could just keep coming down. Again, I'm not shorting the bottom, so if this just keeps rolling out and doesn't give me a play to rely on for some sort of actual entry with risk reward proper, I'm not taking it. I'm just not. It's not happening. So I'm looking for, again, some kind of clawback into something that it's going to reject from. Right? So fill the CME. Come back up into this little bit of structure we made. And then we look for the rejection. Right? I don't know what this curve looks like. It could build higher. It could build lower. Let's see what 4-hour high is. Yeah, I think this aligns great with the 4-hour high. So if we can't close a 4-hour above 457. So again, when I say close above, I don't mean wick into it and reject. I mean candle body above it. Small wick below it or small wick above it. Just a nice fully engulfed candle above that level. Right? I'd be looking for continuation the upside and we would just X out this idea, right? Otherwise, I'm letting it come for me for continuation short. Let's just say we're on the 4-hour. Let's just say this is what the 4-hour does. It comes back up, gets one retracement, then pops. And then this is what I want the 15-minute structure to do. Right? I just want the 15-minute to be a good little boy. And just continue to make a demand chain up. Right? Up. Up. Fill gap. Fail. Right? So what this does for me, it gives me a trade idea. It's a higher low, 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 a higher equal high into the 4-hour resistance, potentially an SFP of that higher low. And then we get a structure shift saying, hey, look, while the hour and the 15-minute were bullish, that 4-hour, that daily structure high that we put in the other day is still bearish. So this is where the bears and the bulls fight again. And if the bears win, we break structure back to the downside and we get a play setup that looks much like this, right? And then we're coming back down to this low and potentially lower because it's a weak low. And then we get that run. Another 14% move. Maybe it comes tomorrow, maybe it comes the next day, but we have a trade idea now for Microsoft. But if it doesn't do that and it just keeps rolling lower, we just change the play to look like this. The whole thing just moves lower, right? But that's the idea for me. Oh, we did SPY. SPY setup was pretty similar to QQQ. So we have a curve we're kind of holding here. Let me just take a peek at this again. So look, same kind of thing, right? This area right here was our bounce zone. So bounce 1, bounce 2, took all the liquidity from below that, bounce 3, came back up, couldn't break the high that put it in, and then we rejected. So, you know, those 3 taps, once they're tapped out of that liquidity, they tend to come down and break. Now we have shifted structure again on the 4-hour and the daily. My next target here is 67.71. Right? But I'm looking to fill something potentially higher before it comes lower. And we may have already gotten that, right? We just rejected from a 4-hour high. But what we're holding right now is that 1-hour break. And if we can drive it a little higher, you know, potentially we get up into this gap fill. Otherwise, the local breakdown is going to start bringing us down. A bit of a diamond pattern. Yeah, it's in the middle of the range. Like, it's just a no trade zone. It's not a range high. It's not a range low. I'm not looking a long or short right here. We're just in float territory for the end of the market day. A fresh breakdown for this on the daily. Like, here, look. I mean, what did this do? Right? So this is yesterday's high. It had a high, it shifted structure lower, and then today came back up, SFP the daily previous day high. Easy short, brother. Easy short. We're always looking for those liquidity traps. I only play daily and weekly highs for trades. That's it. I wait for a daily or a weekly high to come in, and then I shift into the 15-minute, into the 5-minute, and I look for the order shift there. And if Trump's talking, he can mess that all up, unfortunately. And that was the day today. I lost $1,000 today, but that's not the regular. I've got a 78% win rate, so win a little, lose a little, win a lot. It's kind of the game plan constantly. Bitcoin looks like it wants to move out of this model too. VWAP's going to be the real test here. You know, and again, Trump talking, right? Talking at Davos today is, I made the title on YouTube, you know, about Trump rocking the markets today. He creates an interesting dynamic, right? So is today just a complete waste? And every structure that was made today based on him just talking and rocking the markets around is completely invalidated. And everything we just set up is screwed tomorrow morning. We'll revisit it in the morning, right? He just makes for difficult trading days. Let's go back and see a couple of these other ones. Joe was asking for Sol X. I feel like we've done that one a number of times. Let's see what that one was. Add symbol. That's a leveraged something. Is that a 2x? Is this the right ticker here? Trade at 24? That is really thin. That can't be it. It's Solex. Is it Solidex? I apologize. I'm just confused on what I'm looking for. $61. Am I blind and I don't see a 3x here? 2x. Is it Soldex or is it something with Solana? It's a Solana ETF? Oh my god, I'm fucking spelling wrong. I'm so sorry. XOXL. Direction Daily Semiconductor Bull 3X ETF. I feel you now, brother. I feel you. So XL. I completely spelled it wrong. Let's get rid of that one. Add symbol. There we go. Now we're feeling better. And look at this pumping. We've been in here, right? We have some drawing on here. Let's just see what levels were hit. I got to take my time to actually label these. So we had previous day low, we wicked and continued to the upside. Check daily here. So previous day low, we wicked and continued to the upside. Man, this thing is pumping. Slight bullish divergence, but just like the Russell, just like AMD, these are just gold, silver, any kind of... Wow, look at Bitcoin going. Bitcoin just jumped $1,000. Sorry, that distracted me. I'm not trying to guess the top until it tells me it's the top. So at this point in time on this semiconductor play, the daily low is still down at like 36 bucks. Right? So this gives us some time here. Actually, we have a 2-candle pullback. And a gap fill here. Let me just make sure I'm looking at this right. We do have a daily low here. I apologize. Did we draw one there? So that was the break of structure. So this is weekly daily low. This was a previous day low. Previous day low. Let's move this over so we can see all-time high. We are breaking all-time high. This has got a lot of volume to me, right? So this is not indicative of a SFP on the daily or the weekly yet. There's no indication yet that we are bearishly diverting on this on the higher time frames. We could be on the weekly, but it's weak. WEAK. 4 hour shifting right back up. This was the all-time high. It looked like we had some trap traders in this wick. So if we just come back and reject from this previous wick here on the 4 hour, that would be dangerous. But we're looking for some sort of like internal shift here, right? Yeah, we had the dump, right? This was the shift we had yesterday. Remember, we watched this shift and then the dump, and then it bought it right back. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Man, strong plays, brother. Strong plays. Where are you in on this? Key level to break coming up. New York AM high. Hour looks like it could do it. 4 hour doesn't. Looks like it could do it too, but. $12. I hope you bought a lot, man. You're up nice. That's 4x, if not more. Yeah, 428%. 4x. Beautiful play, man. Was this a random buy or something you already had conviction in or something you saw that was being shared? But again, here's low, right? So same thing always applies. I mean, we could just keep pushing higher here. You know, if we break this SFP high and we look for structure to keep going, candle comes up, 2-day candle comes up, a little bit of a pullback. You know, we just keep making this same kind of chain it's making, right? So push, correction, break a structure, push, correction, break a structure, push, correction, break a structure, push, and then the correction. So until this chain starts going the other way, I'm good with this just going higher. So low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? And if we put a higher low and then a higher low and then all of a sudden we're putting in lower highs, I mean, that's my ideal to shave profits. So we just look for this to turn over. So we have 1 deviation, 2 deviations, and we get a 3rd deviation here, and this 3rd deviation fails. You know, that's Wyckoff, baby. So we'll see how high this 3rd deviation runs on the daily. So 1 deviation, 2 deviation, 3 deviation. And it'd be unfortunate if this just failed immediately, and then that one fails, and then we just come down. But I'm not worried about this right now. You're in good spot. This has got a couple days that at least tell you some more information. But 12% pumps are nice, dude. Sucks to even give a little bit of that back. Before the week, let's take a look at the weekly candle. The weekly looks strong, dude. If you're gonna get a weekly break in structure, again, the place to watch, it needs to close above 62.16. Like if we fall below 62.16 here, and we get like some 4-hour structure shift, like if we come into the 4-hour here, so we're 62.16, and we just roll over on the 4-hour, and the 4-hour is on the daily here, right? So 4 hours actually got to make like 2 candles down, fail to make a high, and then break. Right, so if the 4-hour does this, hotkeys, baby. My computer's lagging with streaming in 2 different services. So again, this is what I would worry about: 4-hour structure breaking. And I mean, if you're up if you're up life-changing money, man, pay yourself a little bit now. You're looking for longs. Let's take a peek. Add symbol. Let's look at. Let me make sure I'm not jumping the horse here. I think I saw something before that. QQQ. I mean, everything's just popped. I started out the stream saying it's a Trump day, and Trump days are weird. When he rocks the market like that, they do weird things. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Yeah, silver and gold are just ripping, man. I have a good feeling gold's gonna break 5K before Ethereum does. We did QQQ. I'm not going back through that. ABDE, I have no idea what that is. You'd have to clarify what I'm looking at here, man. Liquidity looks like shit. I'm not trading this ever. mRNA. Let's take a peek. Moderna. We give you the COVID vax. Ripping. Holy shit. Never bet against Big Farm, except you had a nice bet against Big Farm. Wow. Bro, it is terrible that their ticker is mRNA. They got beat down so hard by the Trump administration. That's unfortunate. All right, does anyone remember when big moves come on the weekly? What happens on the weekly time frame when big moves come? Trump just talked. He was talking to Davos. He was hammering the he was hammering on taking over Greenland. He was hammering on more tariffs in front of Macron, and talking about taxing the crap out of the EU and the France right in front of him, dude. He's just got no filter. Look, I'm not hating on it. It's just tough to trade when he talks. So weekly chart on Monera here, right? Moderna, excuse me. I got to say it right. What did we talk about if you were here for the Bitcoin analogy? What happens on weekly charts before we get big moves? We SFP the weekly low. That was the call. What did we do when we SFP'd the weekly low? We put in a hidden bullish divergence on Monero. So this call on this, as soon as this hammer candle formed to the upside and we had continuation, second deviation divergence here, that is a beautiful entry. Textbook entry SFP weekly low. So again, I did not take this play. I'm not claiming to take this play, but I take these plays on Bitcoin all the time. If I can hit my long instead of my short hotkey. So short, long, even with an 8% stop loss on some kind of a spot play. Weekly high is coming up on Moderna. We are here right now. That is external liquidity to external liquidity. I am entertaining a short at this point on Moderna. Now, it's got to actually give it to me, okay? Weekly is oversold. Daily is getting a nice pump. We have not taken... Ooh, have we taken it? Ooh. I mean, look at that. I mean, if you're bullish just because it's at the weekly high, you are trading wrong. Well, yes, there is a chance where this just blows through this, right? I am not top blasting any single asset ever. Ever, ever, ever. This mark right here on the weekly daily chart is a signal that we have taken daily weekly liquidity, letting out every single trap trader in this wick. This wick. So anybody who longed this bottom and it corrected on them has an opportunity to close the position at profit or double down. And if they double down and it's the wrong direction again, it just corrects to the downside and the bottom of the weekly range is the target again. Okay? This is the exact issue that we just had on Bitcoin. So if we just take a look at Bitcoin on the weekly, we SFP'd the weekly high and corrected, right? Look at the Monero chart. Look at the Bitcoin chart. Look at the Monero chart, right? When we had this Bitcoin pump, delete this candle here. At one point in time, this was a folding golf candle into the weekly high. It looked exactly like this, right? 2 candles in a row coming up into the high, and it got murdered, right? So again, I'm not saying it gets murdered, but here's where we entertain some sort of structure shift, right? Does the 4-hour just continue and blast through? We don't know yet. We have a 4-hour structure low down here at 39, but we need something that's tighter, right? So if we get up here and just start moving sideways on the 4-hour chart, and then all of a sudden we just break structure, you'll have your key to look for that 15-minute back test into the imbalance and the correction to the downside, right? And you'll have some sort of supply chain that failed for continuation down. And maybe you just took the wick on the weekly there. Let's take a look at the hour. Hour getting the rejection as soon as we took that liquidity. 15-minute low is not nearly as low as the 4-hour. Sit right about VWAP. Now the question is, does this return exactly to range? And this is deviation, right? So if this just comes down and gets accepted in the range, I would look for the bounce here. And then potentially, if we don't get back over $47.60, this just turns into a Model 1 from the top of the range. So something like this. And make sure you're using like your time horizons on this. And what I mean by that, it's a time sequence. It's not hard. So how long did we accumulate right here? 7 bars, an hour and 45 minutes. If we come back into this range and accumulate 7 bars and bounce and lose the auction right to the downside, so bounce up and then lose it, I mean, that's pretty textbook. No indication to short if you are a swing trader, but if you're a liquidity trader, and like right in these 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, you probably already took that. So we have a 2 minute structure shift to the downside here. It's coming right in. It's giving you some nice tight stop losses. Haven't lost it yet, so the confirmation is not quite there. We did measure out that Model 2 for Bitcoin. What did it do? Bang. Right through. This is why I don't use limit orders either, right? So we were just looking for this to fill. It just blew right through it. But we had the move. Accumulation. A lot of you guys hanging out, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. Hop over in the Discord if you're on TikTok. The link to our website is right in the description. You can click it now. We have 1,000 followers. We hit that goal. You can see 100% there. We should probably change that. What do we update our follower goal to? I don't even know how. Follower goal. Let's do 1,500. It'll take about 10 minutes to review. Okay, just the text. That's wild. What's QQQ doing? Did it blow through our levels? Bitcoin did. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Jesus. Invalidating the head and shoulder. Trump days, man. Crazy. It's coming back up for that full gap fill. And what did I tell you down here? I'm not shorting the bottom. I told you out loud. Let's look at... Yeah, everything popped, dude. Crazy after hours day. Did I miss a tweet or anything? Let me know if I did. WRN. Western Copper. We got a buddy in Discord that loves this. Yeah, that was a wick, brother. Jesus. Now, will this do what silver did? This is a weekly chart. Man, it's so hard to mess with these commodity plays. Like, I'm assuming this is a mining company, right? I don't know for sure. But blowing through weekly, blowing through the order block. Here's the other weekly high. I mean, until we tap that, I'm not even interested in shorting it. But these just keep pumping, dude. They just keep hitting. Got a hell of a pullback here on the weekly. But it's been volatile, right? So daily low is here. 322. You got ran last Friday for 329. And I think you got an easy stop loss. 322 is the stop loss there. Let's take a look at 8-hour structure. Matches daily. Let's take a look at our 4-hour. The 4-hour high is in. No 1-hour shift. 1 hour actually lines up down here as well. So $3.22 is going to be a pretty strong area. But if you're in at 329, you want this to hold right here. So we had a previous shift of structure on the higher time frame. And it's just trying to claw back some imbalance now. So we want this trend to hold. We want another break to the upside. If we get a close below this, I think it's over for at least a minute. We do have a CME down here. It's a little bit of imbalance to fill. But we've come down and cleaned those up. Here's another one. Here's the cleanup. And we have one down here. But commodities have been going hard, dude. It's tough to short them. It's better to just wait for the longs like you took. Especially, look, there's Greenland positioning here to be done too. So these types of companies, if we indeed pick up Greenland, right? If we get the Louisiana purchase of Greenland, I'm just watching the twins over here in the baby monitor. There's gonna be mining plays to be had. We're going for the natural resources. That's what we're doing. I just don't like these pushes and then the full engulfing. The full engulfings just feel dangerous to me. Like this full engulf candle here, it feels like a blow off top. And then we're getting acceptance back into old range. And then we set up that model one. Shoulder head. And we lose trend line would be the key that this could come to fruition. You know, we come back down into previous low, sweep liquidity, come back up, sweep liquidity, and then it's a correction to the downside. And again, I think that's probably unlikely based on the fact that it's in commodity at the moment and that stuff's just hot. But if gold cools off and silver cools off and we start putting in lows, depends on what training you want to do, man. We do weekly sessions. We do some small group stuff. It's $100 a month. You can join the live trading with that. There's a full learning library for both how Ben and I trade, liquidity, SFPs, demand chains, supply chains, market structures. All those things are in that library. We also have a 10,000 foot view of how we trade for free right on the website, tacticaledgetrading.com. You can do that absolutely for free. Just head over to the link in the description there in TikTok. Sign up for free. Do the courses. Do them. And then give me the feedback in Discord. Tag me. I'm Dunky. D-U-N-K-I. Just let me know. Tag me as Dunky in Discord after you do it. And let me know how you like them. Let me know how you feel about them. But it's the fundamentals that if you want to understand how to be a day trader, it is, first of all, it's risk management, right? It's learning how to size positions properly. Dude, I'm not trying to sell you a 5K course. I'm a full-time trader. I don't need your money. The only reason we have a monthly fee in Discord for the trading floor is because if we don't, it's full of riffraff. And it's full of people who talk over each other. And it's full of people who don't shut the fuck up. And they ask stupid questions. And they have no interest in being there. They're just looking for signals. We're not a signals group. I'm not teaching you. I'm not asking you to come in and just take signals. I'm asking you, if you do come in, you commit to being a trader and you learn how to trade. You learn how to take these positions. You learn how to spot this kind of stuff. I mean, it's the old adage, man. Like, you teach a man how to fish, he can feed himself, right? But if you just give him your own fish every single day, like that was the issue with Discord. Discord's 7 years old. It's got 2,000 people in it. We had to get it at $10 to keep people off the trading floor. Then we had to get it at $50, and then we had to get it at $75. And and we just kind of, every time we do that, we shrink the floor down a little bit to an area where it's manageable. Or it just kind of pushes out and we kick people. Like about 3 weeks ago, we kicked about 5-6 people that were paying for Discord out. They weren't worth the trouble. I mean, just on my live account here, if I could just pull it off another monitor. I mean, it's my live trading counts 6 figures. And I took $1,000 loss today. I'm not shy about that stuff. We'll get it back tomorrow. Or the next day. It's all about win rate. It's all about knowing your strengths. It's all about not getting caught in the middle of ranges. It's all about taking those daily levels, those weekly levels, not getting the jitters and just entering a trade because you have a feeling. It's about letting the market confirm your position. So as long as we hold this on Western Copper and Gold Corp, I think we look pretty good. I think my wife just got home, or my kid just walked in the door. Let me look at my camera quick here. This It's the waifu. Yeah, like there's simple things you can do to eliminate things, right? So let's just pretend this is price action, right? Let's just pretend. So you have several different things that are looking at. So if you have a break of structure here and you have a hold on a low, creating a higher low, right? What are the most simplest things you can do not to screw yourself? Well, you don't buy in premium, right? So if this is your low and this is your high, this is a simple gone tool here. It's just the 0.5 Fibonacci that's drawn on there, right? If we're pumping straight out of here, I'm not top blasting, right? I'm not coming out of this longing this top. I'm looking for the pullback. I'm looking, this is premium. Premium pricing above the breakout. Below the breakout at the lower high, at the higher low is discount. So I'm looking for price action to pull into discount before I buy long on a daily level. That automatically eliminates everything from here to here for longs. That saves me a ton of time. I'm not taking any trades there. That's a no trade zone. Right? So what do you look for on the daily? Well, you look for a healthy pullback into that 0.50 or even lower. So what happens when you top blast, right? Fundamentally, what do the market makers do? What do the hedge funds do? What do the billion-dollar trading floors do? They need liquidity to push price higher. Always, 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 always. So they look to trap traders on multiple sides to fill orders for higher. So if you took a break of structure here on the daily as your entry and your entry looks like this, tell me how many times this has happened to you. You take the entry, you're looking for higher, it never gets to your profit target, and it turns around and stomps you out just a little bit. It just comes in, stomps you out, and then turns around and goes. Right? Boom. And then it comes back up and hits your target. How many times has that happened? Probably a lot if that's how you trade. And the reason that happens is they come back in for the liquidity traders. They expect retail to see this break of structure and then pile in long, right? And then those billion-dollar hedge firms come back out and they pull the price on you, taking your stop losses on the retail positions back into that discount zone, using your money to fuel an entry for a continuation long, right? So you see this breakdown coming, and all of a sudden you're a retailer, and all of a sudden you're shorting, right? And all of a sudden your long positions are closing and you're opening short again. And then all of a sudden institutions pull it back. So they squeeze you out from your longs, and then they squeeze you out from the shorts, leaving your sad little old butt sitting on the bench here saying, well, I didn't get anything out of that, and price just moved higher. And you're screaming at your monitor like they owe you something. That's how it works, brother. It's all about liquidity. Give me 1 second. I'll show you a short for this. I just got to find my right monitor here. Give me 1 second here. I think it's this one.
The most fundamental piece of mathematics that everyone uses when they're making a trade is the trader's equation. I take 40 trades a day. What I do is I have to consider risk, reward, and probability. I know what the risk is. I know where I'm placing my stop. I know what the reward is. I know how far away my profit-taking limit order is. If I think the trade will probably work, I assume probability is 60%. So if I have a 60% probability, what is the minimum reward that I need to have a positive trade?
I'm looking for the
Anything can happen. Anything. It only takes one idiot somewhere in the world to totally stuff your position. I went...
Not it either.
Let's say that you have an expectation that this trade's going to work out. More pain arrives. This caused me pain. Is to believe with every fiber of your body, if you have pain, it's because you haven't fully accepted that fact.
All right, I don't know where it went. I thought I had it up, but now I don't. Anyways, the big thing to know is institutions use these levels, these daily, these weekly highs, these structure breaks as pain points for retail. It's why retail traders always lose, because they're on the wrong side of the trade. They have FOMO. They don't buy the pain, they buy the FOMO. This would have been an entry, not this. Whew, we're pumping, baby. Everything is ripping. Let's go ahead and delete this. Man, Bitcoin right back to the daily high. Do we have a Trump day? We got trumped. It was easier to trade when Biden was president. So that 2-minute low held. No 2-minute low here on Sol X. 1-minute low. I don't know where I can trade this. I gotta look. I've seen this chart multiple times now. It looks good for continuation. AMD. Did we do AMD today? I guess we didn't. I think we did that AMD and then it... Wait, what? Oh yeah, we had AMD up yesterday. Here, so this is a really cool one. What did we talk about yesterday? Wait, did we do this today or yesterday? Here's New York AM. We did this today. We did this before I screwed up my trading view. So we talked about the bull flag. We had a measure move above the high, targeting weekly high. Seems to be playing out. Looking good. Do AMD's yesterday move? You mean like recap what the play would have been yesterday? So that's today's candle. So here's yesterday's low, or previous day low, previous day high. So this is New York AM today. This is New York AM yesterday. So here was previous day low. I mean, I don't think you can argue with that. And there's a little hindsight here just based on... So here's New York open yesterday, right? Comes down in. If you had your previous day low marked out, you had your AM session of New York as well for a liquidity target, the previous day low. So what's happening here? Price is making a lower high. Volumes being pot up, making a hidden bullish divergence for continuation. Now, I wouldn't have done anything but targeted liquidity high here. So again, I'm not looking for runners ever. I don't chase runners. I'm in and out at my position with my position size. Provided this had like an actual shift I could have taken. Yeah, man, if you just smash long, as soon as it goes back in here. Or you wait for the fib pull. Let's see if I probably would have waited for the fib pull. So here's entry, here's stop loss. Let's get liquidity high. And it wasn't enough. I probably would not have taken that. Too quick for me. If I was probably more comfortable trading the instrument here on AMD, I may have just taken the SFP at this low. And it would have been worth it. But that bullish divergence into liquidity high here, I mean, that would have been worth it with 4% on account. Otherwise, I would have been looking for a pullback off the high I put in. So back into discount. And then we had the shift high. And then you have today's trade. I mean, that was like the better risk to reward, and it just fucking ran. So that would have been 11% on account. This was really fast. I wouldn't blame anybody, even veteran traders, for not taking this. It's a fast move. But I would have been, again, I would have been out at liquidity high, because it's quite literally 7 times out of 10 it just rejects here and he comes right back down, right? It would have been super nice to just turn this into like from 10% into 20, 30, but you just don't know that it's going to do that, and it usually doesn't, right? It comes up, you get that stop loss, it comes back down, makes you super nervous, and you think you give too much back to the market, and then you close anyway. That's a little bit like, these are instruments, right? So knowing if you're a day trader on AMD that potentially the highs kind of keep going, I wouldn't have known that just by looking at it. But this continuation play was here. I'm not a breakout trader. Statistically, I am not a good breakout trader. I used to be a breakout trader. You know, a breakout trade from the bottom is not a bad idea. If this is your, like, this shift here is a breakout for you, that's fine, right? I'm not looking like, if this coming up here to double test the double top, like, I'm not trading that out and then stop lossing here at the low. And I'm not, if it comes back up here again, I'm not daily breakout trading this. Smaller time structure and accumulation, yes. You know, higher time frame resistance, no. Because odds are it's coming right back for you anyway. All right, guys, we've been going 2 hours. It's been a minute. We'll see if these pumps start to give it back a little bit. Come on over into the Discord. Let us know you came from the live. But that's going to wrap it up for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you tomorrow about the same time.